Alright, I don't know what's going on with my thing today. None of my timing is working. None of my timing is working out, so we'll just do it manually. Welcome back, everybody, to Alma, Missouri. As I mentioned in the pre-show, it is September, and we are working our way around this field. Oh, we are out of fertilizer, people. Our goal tonight is to get this field covered in wheat. We're also going to talk about the things that we are changing now that straw harvest is available. We're going to redo things just a wee little bit. Remember, this gameplay is as real to life financial as we can get, so we're not cheating any money in. We maxed out our loan when we started this by taking out $1.5 million loan. We have 20 years to repay it back at 3.5% interest. It's very favorable rate. We owe $9,000 and some dollars a month to pay back that loan. So we need to clear $9,000 a month just to keep a steady bank account, let alone earn additional money. So I've got $124,000 to play with. We are going to be getting the straw harvest round baler. We will be selling our current round baler, and we need to come up with a way of making silage bales. We got lots of options. I'm going to let you guys vote in on what we should do, but I do have a hopeful idea of what we're going to be using. Simply because, well, I like to use them, and I haven't used them for a while. You may see we've sold some silage bales. We're gonna have to sell some more silage bales to help fund most of this adventure. Chad, what's up? What is up, sir? What is up? What maps are you all playing on? Who's going to be adding straw harvest to your playthrough? And what's the first thing you're going to do with straw harvest once you add it? These are all important things we want to know. $18.20, $19.20 for the same amount. Are you serial? Oh, you're waiting on the Stone Valley update console because the PC update dropped on Friday. I didn't even know Stone Valley was getting updated. Let alone that it was getting updated for everybody, and then the PC version drops. I thought it was just a custom special PC update. Because it's a whole new entry. Fringe Farmer, what's up? Sequoia Kings map. Carpathian Countryside, what a fabulous map. We enjoyed that gameplay. Lonnie's on Elm Creek 4X. Are you brake checking me for real? You are not getting an insurance payout. I have proof that you stopped for no reason directly in front of me. La Cornella. Making straw stuff. Schultz, what is up? Schultz wants to make silage pellets. Lonnie, thank you for the $2 super chat. Ronnie, also, thank you for the $2 super chat. I think I missed both of those when I was trying to figure out my technical difficulties. Jonathan, he's got like 6 gameplay saves here. Bloomfield, West Bridge Hills, Iowa Plains, Alma, and they're all getting straw harvest. Morris, Manitoba is getting straw harvest. Are you gonna force Dwayne to make pellets? How about the bale grabs? Square baler with the bale accumulator and then using bale grabs? Ah, that's some good gameplay right there. Frontier map. The equipment can be expensive, yes. As with most things, it depends on what you define expensive, but yes. It is not really the cheapest stuff in the world. Right, so the bale grabs are pretty nice. They're not that bad. The round baler is not that bad at $81,700. Square baler is pretty dang expensive compared to the other Crone big pack that we have access to with $319. $30,000 bale collect if you want to do the 3 bales side by side. $320,000 premium to make pellets. Add to that $32,000 more if you want to make pellets out of bales. And then you've got some twine and molasses. And then, well, you've got the building. Your pellet building is $175,000. So, like I said, what I think we're going to do. We have our baler here. $38,000 on our baler. That's all we're going to get for it. So I think we're going to sell that. We're going to sell that back. That's going to get us up to $158,000. Then we're going to pick up. Where are the balers? Where are they at? People, why do you hide things? Heavens to Betsy, why are these things just completely... I think a woman organized this shop because it's completely makes no sense. We're going to pick up the round baler for $81,000. And then we need to find a way to make silage bales. And that's where you all come in. And no, Tiki, we're not going to wrap them manually. So, wrapping, right? We have our yada 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 trailed wrapper, right? I want to use this. I want to make bale sausages. Then we have this 3-point hitch go veal. We got the trailed go veal. We're not doing this because I don't have time to load and then unload constantly, but I really want to use this one. The X tractor, $30K. we've got enough money to get that and then to get the Crone baler. Yep, silage snakes is the way I want to go. Now I was watching some of Sealy P's coverage on the Lambda. I'm seriously not trying to mispronounce that. I'm just horrible with remembering things. Thought I heard him say that we did not have a square bale wrapper in game, because he was talking about Mark, talking to have a chat with Mark who was going to make a square bale wrapper, and he mentioned not having it. That's what I thought he said. But this wraps square bales. We've had this since 2017. The Extractor Hybrid wraps square bales. Those are the only two, but no, wait. Yeah. The Gouville wraps square bales also. So we've got 3 square bale wrappers. Oh, indeed. Indeed. A baler wrapper all-in-one. Yes. That would be fabulous. I don't know if there's one that's legit. Is there a legit square bale wrapper all-in-one? Or would it be a fantasy machine? What is up, Caleb? What is up? Blue Butterfly. We've talked about this some before, but we'll go over it again because I know you weren't here. I would like to see some interesting things, and it's not new machinery. It's not so much new crops. It's more of an extension to how the game works now. A little bit of a refinement in certain gameplay elements that I think would be monumental to the new version. I think we have plenty of brands, we have plenty of machines, we have plenty of crops. Although seeing, let's say, orchards, fruit orchards would be nice. Seeing the ability to have nuts, tree nuts would be nice, and having appropriate harvesting equipment for those things. Having, I would love to see an Asian map as a base map that then include realistic harvesting equipment for rice crops and other such Asian crops. That would hopefully also include the functionality of field flooding, let's say, because I don't know why we have one Japanese tractor, the Izeki. We're not going to talk about the Kubota. We have one Izeki base game Japanese tractor. Why do we have one Japanese tractor? It just seems to stand out as a massive shortcoming. Have just a single tractor from a Japanese manufacturer. Again, we're ignoring Kubota at the moment because that was an add-on DLC. But that's not what I'm talking about gameplay element wise. I want to see the mechanics of the buildable roller coaster, the buildable boats, and the buildable pianos. I want to see that extended into buildings that we place. I want to be able to go into here. I want to be able to go to sheds And I want to be able to pick this shed. And I can buy it built for $160,000. Or I could buy it as a foundation slab for $20,000. And when I place it, I get just a concrete slab. And I get a trigger. And then I have to deliver things to that concrete slab. And over time, a building is erected. And then after that building's erected, I get to use it. I want to do that for all types of stuff. I want to be able to build a log cabin house. I want to be able to build a chicken enclosure. I want to be able to build a cow pasture this way. I see Toxic, not yet, not quite yet. It is releasing this week on the Giants Mod Hub. We have early access through Straw Harvest. So we covered Straw Harvest yesterday in the channel. You'll find 4 videos that goes over every detail of Straw Harvest. We also did a live stream last night where we answered various questions and used the machinery in all sorts of ways. Tonight, we're going to be adding Straw Harvest to our existing gameplay here. I want to see. I want to be able to. Right now we can put down. We can put down a cow pasture. Right, we put down a cow pasture. If we want manure, we have to put down a manure heap next to it. If we don't put down a manure heap next to it, we don't get it. I can put a slurry tank somewhere close to it, and it suddenly becomes additional slurry storage. I want to be able to, let's say, take a... I want to be able to take... Where's this thing at? Okay. I want to be able to basically draw out, not with a fence, but we'll just pretend by using a fence. I want to be able to draw out an animal pasture. By basically saying I want it to go here, I want it to go there, I want, this is the shape I want it to be in. Right? I want it to be in that weird shape. And then I want to be able to place in my cow pasture, let's say a food trough. I want to put the food trough right here. Boom. Let's say I want to put the water trough. I want that over here. Boom. Let's say I want the milk trigger. I want that over here. Boom. That's what I want. I want 100% control over where my animals go, how big the animals are, where the triggers are within those. Complete and utter customization of your animal pastures. That's what I want. Two little asks, not a whole lot. Well, Hellhawk, I mean, really, it can't exist without cracking the DRM in the DLCs at the moment. So, if you're talking about a mod for that on GitHub related to extending the production, the buildable stuff out of the premium expansion and out of the platinum expansion, be very cautious about following that, because the only way to get access to that kind of stuff right now is to basically break the DRM, which would be a violation of well, it'd be a pretty big violation for copyright, copy protection. Dang, we're almost out of fertilizer again. There we go. No. I don't want an excuse to do more forestry. I want to be able to do a true, you know, start from scratch type map, type gameplay where I'm just not plopping down a pre-built building. I just roll up and homestead and build my farm, build my house, build fences. Slowly and methodically. And then as I progress and as I get more and more profitable, I can add more and more, expand my operations with bigger buildings. Maybe initially they're all made out of logs and lumber. And then as we expand, we get more steel type things. Alright, let's go fill this back up. Bridge Farmer, if that's the map that came out a long time ago, yeah, we know. It's basically vanished. We don't talk about it. Well, KJ Wiggums, how about that gameplay on a 16x wilderness map, nowhere Kansas, but there's no trees because you know there's no trees in Kansas. That's the only thing that's really lacking in the Kansas map is general trees. But yeah, it'd be awesome. Stevie has a 4x no man's land type map, although it's a bit flat and barren also on the interior. Well, you don't have to farm the entire thing. You can just set up a corner. Then you can have 15 other folks set up little corners. Because a dedicated server will support up to 16 players. You will need a mod in order to activate and create 16 farms. No, it doesn't lag at all. The only lagging would be folks just going too crazy with a whole bunch of machines and stuff. Get out of my way. Alright, we're gonna have to file an insurance claim. This car was reckless driving. Clearly it was cheating. All right, 1, 2, 3. went back to business. You didn't see that car cut me off? Totally cut me off. Now, we talked the other night, it would be interesting to see precision farming be further expanded upon. As opposed to just simply needing to put nitrogen in the ground, each crop requiring not just a different type of nitrogen, but each crop requiring other nutrients. Potassium, for example. We talked about irrigation, soil moisture being a thing. Well, Fridge Farmer, when you violate DRM and you break copyright laws in basically every known civilized country, it's not worth publicizing and giving a voice to the person who violated all those rules and laws. So by constantly speaking of them, you're giving them a voice. You're empowering their action. But if you pretend they don't exist, pretend the map doesn't exist, then you're not empowering them in any way. And when it does come up, you try to educate individuals as to why that map or those actions are in gross disregard to the company that created them. Then you're hopefully doing a service to the community at large than to do a service to the individual who would rather, well, basically steal from the company for which they clearly enjoy playing and creating content for, or to use another analogy, to bite the hand of the one who feeds you. This community is already ripe with people who are just have no regard for other people's work and are willing to just steal anything and everything they can in order to hopefully not only stand on the backs of other people's work, but stomp the other people down on the ground so people think that they themselves did the work. Fridge Farmer, I don't know what you're talking about. We didn't mute you in any way. And that particular map author was issued a cease and desist illegal takedown notice. They knew exactly what they were doing because they made public statements as such on their live streams. I know because I have recordings of them that I captured and kept. one thing, KJ Wiggums, on like buildings and such. You know, Giants is a German-based, Austrian-based company, European-based company, 100%, and as such, you know, that's where they have their presence. So that's why the vast majority of the buildings and such in the game are highly European inspired. Now, with a Chicago office now existing in the U.S., they are slowly building up the manpower in the Chicago office. Hopefully, we will see over time more and more U.S.-based, North American-based things, but it's going to take some time. Remember, Giants was wanting to staff a Chicago office in possibly even 2018, 2019 for sure. And then COVID happened. And then the world stopped for 3 years. 2 years for sure. And they couldn't get over here to basically land an office in Chicago. So the Chicago office was delayed for a period of at least 2 years. Imagine a world where COVID didn't exist and the Chicago office could open up in 2019, and we're now 2014, right? 3+ years later. We could see whatever comes next as far as farm sim. Maybe we'd see far more North American presence as a result. Well, Fridge Farmer, if it's the map I'm thinking of, and I'm pretty sure it is, but I am horrible with every name out there. I can't spell either. So it's just words go in my head and they just fall right out, no matter how hard I try to remember them. Anyway, I was about to cover that map, and I got word that it was maybe a little sketchy before I had a chance to cover the map. There was a couple creators that were playing the map and talking it up with great praise. They were unaware of this controversy. And then once they became aware of the controversy, it went away real quick from their channels because, well, again, you don't want to bite the hand that feeds you. And if you're here watching this stream, you probably like the game. You probably enjoy the game. And you'd rather not have the game just vanish because the company making the game decides that it's not worth being made anymore because too many people are just, pirating things. That's what I say about biting the hands that feed you, right? That's where I ran out of fertilizer. I'm just gonna leave it. I was seeding and then I ran out of fertilizer, and then I did catch a little bit back up because it was just, on the way. All right, we got that rolling. So, I mean, we had a couple other maps come out recently that were a bit controversial. But yeah. I mean, I'm sure you all have seen my coverage of a particular map that I did Christmas Eve. That was a little exciting couple days in chat. Because I basically called someone out for redistributing a whole heap load, 40 plus mods in a mod pack. Mods from itch.io creators, mods from ModHub creators, with a large portion of those mods had been renamed, and apparently it had some slight edits done. Apparently my comments hit a nerve. Comment was, you didn't go out and contact all these people. No, I didn't go out and contact these people because, one, I don't know how to contact all these people. And two, I shouldn't have to. But apparently, to be transparent, I was told that they had to be edited. Those mods had to be edited because when you loaded up the map, they did not appear properly. The buildings were either sunk in the ground or they were floating. And the buildings needed to be edited so that they would, so that the locations would be zeroed out or something. I'm not a modder, so I may be losing a lot in translation. So that it had to be edited in order to appear properly on the map. Didn't make sense to me. I asked, well, that's interesting because we've had other maps in the mod hub that have used those very mods as required mods that didn't require such editing. I didn't really get an answer to that question, so I just left it at that. All right, fine. We had another map pseudo released this weekend that once again had a giant mod pack associated with it. I thought, oh, here we go again. I opened up that mod pack and I saw a specific folder named a specific file name, and when I looked in there, the mod desk was still in there, and it was a map pack made for a completely different map of a modder for which I have very direct access to ask questions to. So I asked him, it's like, did you authorize this guy to distribute your mod pack for your map in his map? The answer was no. Well, I won't be covering that map when it does come out, because it's not something that should be, in my opinion, covered, because it's not kosher. All right, we are going to use the Comprima. This is part of the Straw Harvest Pack. The Comprima, we're going to use net wrap, yes. And we're going to say fill manually, because that's how we do things here. That means I'm going to need to buy a pallet of net wrap. $15 rolls. All right, let's go get hooked up. Delilah, what's up? Rabbit Rob. Both of its... Rabbit Rob has multiple personalities. Thankfully, both of them are here, so he's not in conflict with himself. Yeah, we're not going to name names, KJ Williams, just to protect the innocent. Right? Why can't I... There we go. In to open the door. R to fill. It didn't want to open. I figured as much, and I just said that so other folks would pick up on what we were laying down, right? I mean, it's not hard to go back and figure it out. But at any rate, that is behind us. Although I still need to, as I agreed to in the chat, in the comments, I still need to send the $16.80 some cents that I did earn while that video was monetized to someone who will agree to distribute those funds to all the modders or modders that had their content in that map. And I've sent a couple messages, all of which have been not answered to date as to who I can send that to, because I do not have direct contact with those folks. We're making room. We're making room because I want to make sausage bales. Super, what's up? Midwest Farmer, how you doing? I'm enjoying straw harvest. I enjoyed relearning it over the weekend. I enjoyed showing it off to you guys in the 4-part video that I did on yesterday. Released them yesterday between 8 and 11 a.m. And I enjoyed the live stream last night where we used all the stuff. We're going to slowly start adding more and more straw harvest stuff here on this save as we have money. We've eaten our Wheaties. We are mighty strong individuals. Oh, yesterday afternoon then. Oh, shite. That was terrible. Rabbit Rob, look what you did. Hashtag Bling Rob. He totally did it. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna leave those. All right, folks, you're gonna poll. We're gonna poll. Let's add a poll. Should we use the 7850C, the IFX 720 X Tractor, or the G1015? Or the G5020? Alright, you have until I get done selling these bales to vote. Eli, this is not multiplayer. So I've been trying to figure out why I didn't like Straw Harvest as much as I did in FS19 as I did in 17. I enjoyed using it a lot in 17. That was when it was a PC only DLC. 19 it became available for all platforms. But I know I never enjoyed it as much. And I don't remember why. But I feel like it didn't have as much stuff included as the 17 version. But I feel like the 22 version is harkening back a bit more to the 17 version. I don't know, maybe some of that's nostalgia. Alright, bales are sold. Poll is ended. We get the extractor. Clearly Tuki's voting didn't work. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. It will be free, Eddie. It is confirmed. 100% free DLC releasing this week. Over to Giants Mod Hub. Once it's out, I'll post a community post to let everybody know. I'll also update the 4 how-to videos I have on it with information. In the meantime, go check out those how-tos. We cover everything from the placeables, the balers, the bale grabs, and making pellets and what to use, what you can use those pellets for. All right, let's go. Anybody want to buy a whole pallet of Massey Ferguson net wrap? I got some. I get it to you for free. No, for cheap. Wait. Now we're going to town. Now we're dumping grass out the back. Of course, Stack Tuki, that's what you vote for. Vote for the one that would be most agonizing for me. I mean, you may have thought the extractor was the most agonizing because I've got a bale, then I got to go around and pick them up, then I got to drop them off, then I got to load them into the little wrapper. Right? Is that more agonizing than running around the field a second time, picking them up and waiting on for the wrap? So in this case, your vote did not count. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Star Harvest is not out today. I was hoping it would be out today, but it doesn't look like anything got dropped on the Mod Hub today. Maybe tomorrow. It's supposed to be sometime this week, for sure. Oh, we don't have the money to buy that building right now. So we have to basically wait. We're not going to be cheating any money in on this. All the money we've got, we've earned or borrowed. That would be tomorrow. I don't know. The only information I have is releasing this week. And we know Monday's down. So there's only 4 more options. 23rd would be tomorrow. All right, off we go. I prefer older than newer. I did finish. What? What is this finish loading the net wrap thing? It is loaded with net wrap. All right, let's go back to the shop. We'll see what we can do. Oops. Like a bit smaller farming as opposed to larger farming. Something a bit more manageable with my time. GoldenEye 48, what is up? Welcome. It's coming along good. Coming along good. We're trying to figure out why we're having a little bit of a issue here. Alright, I'm confused. I don't know what the heck. I've got 3 rolls of something and whatever. Okay. Alright, catch you later, Fringe Farmer. Japanese tea? Ah, did you go through the whole serving ceremony? I honestly do not know. I don't recall this coming up in my testing. Alright, so we bought this. It says net wrap, yes, and refill supplies manually. We'll figure it out. Well, I can't afford square balers. Maybe it's because I had both activated. Maybe that's it. Because I have net wrap and twine. I have the net wrap add-on and I have this activated at the same time. Because of course in my testing I would have a very limited subset. Let's do something. Do. You go away. You go away. I've heard about an interesting Japanese like teapot that had like a it was for like an assassin's teapot. Depending on how you held it, you would either pour poison or you would pour tea. Take care, Hellhawk. Take care. We're about to see what our Bale looks like now that we've turned off the net wrap. What's up, Robert's Farm and Gaming? I didn't say hello already. Yeah, look. See now. Now we only have one. That's... Are you... Alright, we can't do that. Well, I can't turn it off because then all my net wrap bales vanish. You know, all those bales over there that have the, that have the nice stripes on them, well, they all vanish if we turn that mod off. Right? I wasn't going to lose hundreds of bales. They are 500. Oh, you're too big. We need to make 150s. Richard, no, why should they? It's not their problem if a mod conflicts with their mod. They can't possibly engineer and design around every possible iteration. Is this the right size now? No. What? I need the wrong size still. Yo, the gamer! What's up? So, I mean, now that they have other people using it, they can report back conflicts. And maybe there will be an update that will correct that, or maybe it's more on the NetWrap add-on mod to exclude these two balers. Is that one smaller? There we go, we got the right size now. Uh-oh, what rabbit hole I got you going down now? So, like, to totally get rid of the net wrap, I would have to either be willing to forego all those bales I made, or sell all those bales I made. Oh, I mean, it's quite the discussion the comment section is. Or use all the bales I've made. I mean, it seems to be working. We're using up both. Even though we have 2 loaded in. So I got a little bit of a chuckle out of the Stone Valley description, where it said tested with 200 mods. Well, it's like, all right, so we know there's a set of 200 mods that don't conflict, but which 200 are they? It is as if, right, like any combination, as long as you were under 200, you were okay. But it only takes 2 mods to be in conflict. It's just finding the right pair. Alright, let's go. Before I go make more, I want to make sure that I can actually wrap these bales. I would hope so. I'm just gonna move these out of the way for now. Check. Check them over there. Okay, forks, where did I leave them at? There they are. It's a new Olympic sport. Powerlifting. Bale chucking. So it's a good old pumpkin chucker. What? Look what Rabbit Rob did to my beautiful bale stack. Let's go. All right, it works. Excellente. Yeah, he distracted me. I chucked the bale in wrong, and well, just bad things happened. We're going to be reminded of that disaster for like a year. I think you got sausage fingers. You're hitting every button but the right one. But yeah, it's been a while since we made Bale sausages. An interesting bug with this this mower, or maybe other things with headers. It seems like if you don't disconnect and reconnect them at the when you load in a new save game, the ride height on them's wrong. And they cause the front wheels to be off the ground. So while I'm thinking about it, anybody that wants to participate in our Friday night Wreckfest live streams, Humble Bundle has Wreckfest on an incredible sale right now. 68% off or something like that. You get the game for something like $9.99 as opposed to the normal price $29. There's only 2 requirements for participating in our Friday Night Wreckfest. Is that 1, you win the game, and 2, that you want to have fun. We'll just come out and join the Discord. You got the channel with the server info. And we'll easily add slots to cover. I had a similar issue with the with one of the headers I tried on the harvester. Yep, Humble Bundle redeems on Steam. So you basically get the Steam key, you go over to Steam, you redeem the key, and there, Bob's your uncle. There you go. The winter sale, which is what this pricing is a part of, it goes on until February 5th. Some pretty good deals in there. I didn't figure out what was going on with respect to the ride height of the mower deck. I mowed the entire grass that I had without any issue. The next time I went to mow, it kept lifting the front wheels off the ground, and I was like, I know this works. Because I mowed an entire field with it, or 4 fields. So I disconnected the header, reconnected it, and then it worked fine. So when we do stream, we stream over on our secondary channel, FK's Funhouse, Explanation FK's Funhouse. The first community live stream was 2 weeks ago. I didn't do a live stream last week, Friday, because I was trying to put out the 3 map videos. But I think others joined in on the server anyway. I downloaded it straight from the mod hub, so yes, I would say I do. Not in the Discord and you want to join, it's Explanation Discord. I'll give you a link. So it's not really a big deal that with the NetWrap add-on or the NetTwine add-on, that you kind of have to load the baler twice. It still works. Maybe I'm going through NetWrap twice as much as I need to. It's all good. Sipper, how did the family Baldur's Gate game go yesterday? Dwayne was wanting to know how your shifter was working for you. Like how the belt raises up as the bale's made too. Really good animations on this baler. You see as it fills up, that belt raises higher and higher and higher and higher as the bale inside of it gets bigger and bigger. There's a couple other deals over the Humble Bundle Winter Sale. Several games that I gave away for the 25 days of Christmas were on sale. TAKH, yeah. It's a combination of preference and what you might need for your TMR mixing. What the heck am I stuck on? Oh. So with FS22, they made a whole bunch of different bale sizes. Right, there's 3 bale sizes for square bales, there's 3 bale sizes for round bales. Technically a 4th square bale size because there's little bales, but at any rate, each bale size has a different capacity depending on the fill type. So the big square bale for straw is different capacity than the big bale of hay than the big bale of grass is. And what you end up with is I'm not good on math, but I think it's 3 times 3 fill types times 6 as far as number of different bales and capacities. That might be incorrect, but it's a lot. So on this map, on this game save, in order for me to make my proper TMR mix, I do 180 centimeter hay bale, 150 centimeter straw bale, and 150 centimeter silage bale times 2. So 250 meter silage bales, 180 meter hay bale, and 150 centimeter straw bale. And that makes my perfect TMR mix for my TMR mixer. I accidentally made several 180 centimeter straw bales, but they're too much. They mess up the ratio. So I use those for bedding. So it's kind of personal preference, but also if you're using bales to mix TMR, you may need to mix and match the bale sizes in order to get the ratios right. So if you're making bales to sell, then make the biggest ones possible. You get less bales. There's a mod, variable bale capacity, made by a friend of the channel that allows you to make even bigger bales, which means you make even less bales, which you know, makes it a lot easier to pick those up and move them around. But the downside of that is if you end up wanting to make those bales with TMR, then your capacities are way out of whack. Welcome back, KJ Wiggums. Glad you made it back after navigating the jungle, the comments section. Foremost Forever, how's it going, sir? How's it going? Keep warm. Today was the first day above freezing in like a week, maybe week and a half. And what's ironic is by Friday it's supposed to be a high of 67. Last night it was single digits for a cold low. Tonight's only supposed to be 26 for its low, with a high tomorrow of upper 40s, maybe 50. Oh, have you used a Hori? What do you think of it? How's it work for you? Well, as if you look close down there, you can see the bale forming and getting bigger and bigger. It's kind of hard to see. It is a whole new world going from a controller to a wheel. Wheel, pedal, side panel. It's like learning everything all over. Yeah, I was looking at the button mapping on their website, and it looked kind of interesting. The defaults, like the center pedal is the clutch. The right pedal was the throttle, the left pedal was the brake. The center was set up as the clutch. And I think like the hand throttle wasn't necessarily set up as a hand throttle. Out of the box, it was more or less a forward and reverse. But you can definitely change those around. The joys of multiple controllers, right? I was trying to mess with the crane and the pellet haul on Straw Harvest with my joystick, but nothing was happening. So I didn't mess with it because I'm horrible with cranes, and I had no intentions of using the crane beyond demonstrating it a little bit. I was kind of expecting the crane controls to work at least a little bit. It's alright, Simper. I was saying, I think it was either Dwayne or Jolly was curious how you were getting on with the shifter, and you're eating fuller handle or knob in ATS. Somebody needs a rear weight, and that is me. No, that's not what I want. This one I want. Drop that there. Oh, we can load a couple of these when we get the Bale trailer. Let's make our Bale sausage. All right. That's good to hear. Good to hear. Easy to set up. So we're going to go and collect these bales, bring them back closer to the wrapper, and then we will wrap them and move on to the next field. That's the bigger bale. Knew there were 3. There we go. What aspects of straw harvest are you all looking forward to using? I asked at the start of the stream, it sounded like some folks were going to go with the bale collector, the square bales, the bale grabs, making some pellets. Are you going to use the pellets for food, or are you going to store them and just sell them? This stuff out of the way. All right. Pellet food for cows. If I would hit this thing. Eli, what do you mean? Are you using a semi to transport a push mower? Is that what you're saying? Well, I mean, if you don't want to have to walk it all the way back from the shop, you need to transport it somehow. Does seem a bit excessive, though. Who here hasn't used the bale wrapper, sausage wrapper before? I was saying about this the other day. I hadn't used it for a while. Pellets for feed. Now, I have heard, as I would have expected, if you have a multi-silo mod, one of those mods that holds everything, then it will hold your pellets. I have heard you can use pellets to make TMR, but do note that when you put pellets in, they do expand. So 1,000 pellets equals 4,000 hay, for example. So it can become very, very easy to mess up your ratio as a result. All right, there we go. As I would expect, because they were basically set up right to accept new things. Right, any new thing added is automatically accepted because of the way it's coded. Which is good. Otherwise, you'd have to keep updating it every time someone came out with a new production. So you did a good job on that one for sure. Now we move on to the next field and the next field and the next field. And if the rumors are correct, sounds like everyone will be enjoying straw harvest sooner than later. Assuming there's no map get released tomorrow, we'll be back here on Alma, working more on our grass harvest, and maybe moving into our corn harvest, because we got to move into October for that. If a map does come out, then we'll be busy putting that video together and getting it published out for everybody. Simper picked up breakfast. Hope to have you enjoying us on Friday. You did see my deal. Well, yeah, we talked about it here. Nope, no problems with the cows and milk on the farm I'm at. My cows do jitter a bit, but they seem to jitter only after I mess with the trigger. Like if I add water to the water trough, then they start jittering. I've gotten milk because I bought the dairy and I've been making butter with the milk. Well, it depends on what order you use it in, Delilah. Do you haul the slurry first? Yeah, see, it's kind of jittery. Don't really know what the deal is with that, but I mean, he's definitely not static. He's just jittery. Gold Gaming, what's up? Welcome. I mean, if you wash it out, it should be good. Yeah, I don't know if it's because of how he set up the cows to have multiple nav meshes. If that's making it kind of go jitterbug. Or what. You weren't here for the last time we mowed. I was saying then that I've developed this system of going around the fields on this map 3 times with the mower, baling those, and then doing the rest of the up-down passes. Because the way that mower works is if I drive over windrow, it messes that windrow up. And 3 passes gives me then lots of room to turn around. Oh, the stream's going good. We're just about done. We'll be wrapping up here in about the next 10 minutes. Gonna grab a little bite to eat and then chill out for maybe an hour and then go to bed. I was saying it's going to be upper 40s tomorrow, maybe low 50s tomorrow, 67 by Friday here, and I think 2 or 3 days of rain this week. What's the weather look like for you all? You all getting a little bit of a warm up? The big chill passing. +6, is that, I mean, that sounds, is that warm for you then? +6 is like 40 something, right? Yeah, freezing rain is the worst. Mr. Joe. I don't know. Is it out? No. I don't know where you downloaded from, Mr. Joe. But it's not released on the Giants Mod Hub. We just grabbed it from where? So, yes, it in essence is what is coming to 22. Actually, let's stop and look. Let's stop and look real quick. Display. Because you know, search is just not going to work out for us. Yep. That I never used. Yep. This is, Straw Harvest, so this is the same as what you will be getting in 22. Sometime this week. Now, obviously the FS19 version is not going to work for 22. Rumor has it could release as early as tomorrow. The information I got from Creative Mesh was that it will be releasing this week. So we've got, another 4-day possibility there. I was excited because today's the first day in like a week to a week and a half that my solar panels have gotten sunlight to them. It had been unseasonably cold to where the normal daylight solar radiation did not help melt them away. And no, I was not going up on the roof to brush them off. Now, of course, Mr. Joe, if you happen to have FS19, you could fire it up and use Straw Harvest and figure it out, learn about it a little bit. Anybody who has not seen my coverage on Straw Harvest, I encourage you to go check that out. I've got a 4-part series. This is a video link to part 1. After the stream, I'll be updating the description in part 1, adding links to part 2, 3, and 4. But there are in in video links to parts 2, 3, and 4. You can find all 4 parts in my how-to playlist for Farming Simulator 22. It'll give you a comprehensive rundown of everything included with the pack. That includes all 3 building variants, the placeable heating plant that accepts straw pellets and wood chips, as well as the placeable cell point. The 2 balers included in the pack, one of which we just used. The round baler and then a square baler with a 3 bale accumulator. There are 3 different bale grabs included with the pack to make bale collection off the field very, very easy. And then there is a trailed pellet press that allows you to press hay or straw into pellets. And you can either do that by driving it through the field or stationary using a conveyor belt to load the press with square bales. And then those hay and straw pellets can be used for either bedding in the way of straw pellets or feed in the way of hay pellets for your animals. You can sell the pellets. Just basically gives you something else to do, another game mechanic. I was saying the gameplay that I like to do was to make square bales in the summer and autumn, and then over winter basically take those bales and run them through my pellet machine in the building when it's nice and cold out. Long time coming. I wished it would have dropped the end of last year, but alas, it just was not ready. But its release is now very, very pending. So to recap what we've done here, what we've changed as far as our own gameplay, we sold the Massey Ferguson round baler combo wrapper. We've picked up the Kuhn round baler, not the Kuhn, the Krone round baler as part of the pack. We moved on to using the Anderson bale wrapper to wrap our round bales. As we continue to hopefully become profitable and earn money, we will hopefully at some point have enough money to buy the square baler and bale collector, and then at some point buy the pellet press and just get on full with our pellet production. Yes, Big Fuzzy, it was already reported by the time I was done, as I thought. If you slow down, then you don't run into that issue. But it is definitely something they're aware of. They say it deals with the timing of that center bale, and it's apparently not something that's overly easy to dial in. No, it's not going to delay it. It is how it is. Like I said, if you're reasonable and slow down, then it's not a problem. It's just when you full throttle unload. And we all know that we're just going to full throttle unload everything, because that's why we square bale, so we don't have to slow down. But they are aware of it. They will be looking into it. It's just, how quickly will they be able to pin down the timing? Because it sounds like it's not necessarily the easiest thing to adjust. Because I reported a different bug, a small texture bug, yesterday as well, and they said that was going to come in a 1.1 update. So it sounds like pretty much anything that's reported at this point is going to come in a future update. Yeah, fixing the timing is in the code, in the XML somewhere. At least I would assume it's in the XML somewhere. I looked at the mod earlier today. The straw harvest pack is 100% script free. So that means any scripts that were required have already been injected into the game via a game update. So I do not expect that there will be a required update that console players will need to install in order to have compatibility. I feel like that has already been done. So off we go. So I'm just going to finish baling this. Tomorrow, again, we'll be back on this map. Hold on, where is this at? There we go. Tomorrow we'll be back on this map. Assuming that there isn't a map drop on the Giants Mod Hub. We'll be working to continue our grass harvest, and then moving into October, we're going to start harvesting our corn. We need to buy the corn dryer if we don't already own it, because we need to make dried corn, because we own the popcorn factory. And we're gonna make popcorn and buttered popcorn. We own the dairy, so we're gonna be making butter. we need to send over to the popcorn factory. And hopefully then we'll start really rolling in the cash as we add that extra production to our portfolio. And until next time, happy farming.